Alright, so welcome back to another review, and today we're going to take a look at the Moondrop SSR. So very excited to share this here in this channel. So we did review the Starfield, and it's one of our channel favorites. And also under $20, we did review the Spaceship, and it's also one of our top 5s. So Moondrop is very well loved here in this channel, and this is the first that I'm going to review in the $50 range. And much like the Starfield and also the Spaceship, I am really liking this one. So I think it's a blast to listen to, and we're going to find out why here in this video. But of course, big thanks to WooEasy for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. And also for this review, we're going to discuss about the sound. If you need more information about the unboxing and also build quality, you can check out my unboxing links up here. That is the overall sound for me. This punches above its weight, so definitely for $50 you're getting a lot of value for the money. So this is a one dynamic driver configuration, and also this has beryllium drivers, which is impressive for the price range. So the other beryllium drivers that I have reviewed is the WGT one, which is around $100, and also the Duno as well, around $300. So this is the cheapest beryllium driver that I have seen. So looking at the signature, this is more in the bright side of presentation. It's a pretty level slope at around 1K to 2K region, where it has a slight bump, and then it rises again up to 7K. But what's really impressive in this one is there's no peaks in the signature, which makes the signature very natural on the ear. And also the 2K bump makes the vocals to have really nice positioning. So one of the better vocal positionings that I have seen in the $50 range. But for me, getting the signature in this kind of price range is already unique selling point by itself. It's a crazy signature in this kind of price range. So the sound with this beryllium drivers is a bit different compared to your usual dynamic driver. So again, this does remind me of the WGT one. This is kind of in the middle of your usual dynamic driver, and a BA kind of sound is a bit cleaner compared to your usual dynamic driver, which improves separation with the Moondrop SSR. So this is a very musical kind of sound, definitely lively and also natural in tonality overall in this one. Very impressive for the price range. The highs in this one are very impressive for me. Good body all around, energetic, and also the cymbals sound nice and full. No peak to be found. Just overall for me, well done, and also good tonality as well. So I'm a big fan of the highs in this one. Very natural highs to listen to. One of the better ones in terms of the naturalness in the sound that I have listened to in that price range. The mids are very nice in this one. Again, it has a bit of smoothness in the presentation, which makes the vocals more rich. But again, it's not overly smooth, so still the separation is pretty good in this one. They're able to find a good balance between both, and the vocal positioning is really good in this one. And it's still also fairly revealing as well. It has some micro detail, maybe with that beryllium driver. But definitely your multi-driver counterparts will be more revealing compared to this one. But I do like still the richness in the presentation in this one, because this might be more natural to listen to compared to your other, pure BA-based drivers. So there's pros and cons with this one. But if there's one con that I'm gonna think about in this one, is this might be still a bit too aggressive for some people. For me, it's no issue. I do like the mids overall. But yes, for some people it's sensitive to fatigue. You might find the vocals here to be a little bit too aggressive. The bass is in the tight side and well controlled, which improves the separation greatly. But still goes pretty deep as well, but not the deepest that I've heard, but pretty good, especially for the price that you're paying for. So definitely this is not substantial in the mix. It's definitely present but not substantial, so this won't be for bass heads. If you like anything with warmth or anything with bass, you should stay away from this one. This is one of the least bassy IEMs that I have listened to in that price range. But for me, very technically capable bass overall, with that tightness in the bass. It does improve the separation in this one greatly. Soundstage is pretty big in this one, quite expansive. One of the bigger ones that I've seen in the $50 range. Imaging is pretty good as well. I can mix and maybe even monitor with this one as well. Separation is pretty good again. So even for a dynamic driver, this is not as smooth as your other dynamic driver counterparts. So separation is improved with the SSR. Detail, especially for a dynamic driver, is really good in this one. This has some micro detail, but not the most detailed pair that I've listened to. But definitely still good for me, especially given the price range that this is. So overall, in terms of sound, this is a well-made kit. It's solid all around. Just quite interesting for me. But if I'm really gonna nitpick in this one, find some faults, I would still like this better if the tuning is a little bit more level, a little more neutral. So again, this is kind of a rising graph. It's gearing towards more of a clarity focused IEM. I think maybe in the future, Moondrop can make another product that's more neutral, that's more balanced, more level on the ear. I think that would be a welcome improvement in this one, but still a pretty good tuning overall. I would say it's not a major issue for me. But let's compare it to the other, top 5s here in this channel compared to the Blon 03. So for me, compared to the Blon 03, I will put the SSR in my same favoritism with the Blon 03 for me. Both are super nice on the ear, but of course there are different tuning. So the Blon is a bit smoother, has more warmth, has more bass. The bass impact is more pronounced in the Blon and more fun overall. The SSR in comparison has better separation, a little bit more micro detail, brighter as well, and also more tight bass. More monitor, more analytical type of listen. So for me, frankly, I love this both. It will be very hard to choose, and also they're different in terms of the overall tuning. So if you like a cleaner kind of sound, a little bit brighter kind of sound, and also a bit more micro detail, you should go with the SSR. If you're into bass, into warmth as well, go with the Blon. I would say either or would be a good pick. It would just depend on your preference in terms of the overall tuning. Compared to the Tin T3, so frankly, they're not that far off for me. Both have that clarity on top. The Tin T3 has a bit more prominent bass over the SSR. The T3 has a bit more shimmer on top. Both have good vocal positioning. If not, the T3 has slightly more revealing vocals in the mix. The T3 also is a touch cleaner on top as well. Of course, with that kind of BA kind of sound, with that hybrid kind of sound. The SSR has more toned down bass, a bigger stage, better separation. So this is a toss up for me. They're close. It will depend on your preference. But definitely, if you like a slightly more bass in the mix, you should go with the T3. But yes, if you like a bigger sound stage, you should go with the SSR. So, both are top 5. So I like them both. It will depend on your preference. So compared to the BA5, so definitely there are different sound in the ear. The BA5 is even cleaner sounding, more monitor type of sound in the ear. And also a touch more aggressive with the BA5. The SSR has better tonality, a more warmish kind of sound in the ear. The BA5 is slightly more revealing on the ear and touch more detail as well. The vocal positioning in the BA5 is less compared to the SSR. The separation is a bit better in the BA5. These are different IEMs. Again, I would use this both for different purposes. BA5 for a slightly cleaner sound and more aggressive kind of sound. The SSR for a slightly more relaxed sound, a smoother kind of sound, and also better vocal positioning. So both are good for me. It will depend on where you're gonna use your IEM. So frankly, for me in this list, it's very hard to choose. These are all my top 5s. It will be just up to you in terms of the signature that you prefer. Even if you get them all, I'm sure that you're gonna find a purpose to use for each one of them. So in terms of amp pairing, this does require a bit of power to drive. So more power than your usual IEM. So better get a good amp to pair with this one as much as you can, especially for that detail retrieval as well. So frankly, for me, I do prefer a tube kind of sound with this one. But even for a cleaner amp, it's still pretty good sounding. Alright, so for the SSR, this is a very well-rounded kind of kit. So definitely under $50 if you're okay with that signature. This is definitely something that you should be considering in your short list. This is one of the better ones in the $50 range and one of our top 5s for sure. It's a very solid kit all around. I do like the highs, the mids, the bass is good. Soundstage is good, separation is good as well, tonality is good, detail retrieval is fair, and also that kind of signature very natural to listen to. So the only thing that may deter you from getting this one is the brightness on top. So this is a bit bright. There's not a lot of bass in this one, so if you're a bass head, you might look elsewhere. But definitely yes, if you're okay with a bright kind of IEM, you should get this one. You won't be disappointed with this one. Alright, so that's my take with the Moondrop SSR. So very impressed with Moondrop again with this one. And I'm, really interested to see more Moondrops here in this channel. And frankly, for me, it's been a long time since I'm looking for a dynamic driver, a new dynamic driver IEM that will fit my preference. And finally, we have a Moondrop to the rescue for 2020. If you have additional questions for me, let me know down in the comments below as well. And of course, if you want to help out the channel, I did release my new EP. I'm gonna link it down below. And also, I created a new YouTube channel for my songs. So if you want to support the channel, buying my album in Bandcamp will be one of the bigger helps here in this channel. And of course, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt unboxing. Goodbye.